Good morning, everybody. This is Stock Market Update, Saturday, December 16th morning, 10:17 a.m. Eastern, and let's do analysis on stock market. So what we're gonna do is let's try to see. I'll show you how I analyze. Um, I'm gonna hide this indicator. I don't need that right now. And let's go to regular trading hours. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Let's try to find any gaps. Okay, because gaps do get filled 90% of the time. For example, on triple Qs, this is Nasdaq ETF. There's a gap here around 385. It will fill. You can see this gap here. Oh, let's see, was it filled? Let's see. Let me zoom in and let's see if this gap is filled or not. So this gap, if I zoom in, still not filled. Okay, see? So we have a gap around 403. You can see 1 hour chart. Maybe I can try to make a little bit higher here. There you go. Still this gap is not filled, so it will fill. So what that means, on Monday we will get a dip, almost 0.4, 0.3%, around 403, and then it will pump if it's required to pump. And you can see that's the way I got all these 1 hour gaps, and I mark with green lines. All right. So if I go to daily chart, we can see all the gaps. 90% of the gaps will be filled. Okay, so be careful if you are enjoying and you think market will not go down. Just think again, okay? It will at some point come down and fill most of these gaps. You can see all these green lines, okay? 90% of these will fill. So imagine, I don't know when, but imagine when this goes and dumps. All right, it's gonna be a massive dump. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it will happen in future. 1 year, 2 year, next year, who knows? All right, so SPY, there's no gap. You can see we had a gap up here on Thursday. And yeah, Alvin, I can see you. I'm just doing a video analysis, entire sector, and then I will answer any of your questions. Okay, I'm just gonna review individual ETF, and then I will get back to your questions. Um, we are almost forming a topping process, Alvin. If you look at this chart here, I think we're forming a topping process on S&P 500. So a little bit more, maybe just forming a topping process, and then we're coming down. And if I go to 1 hour chart, you can see these gaps. All right, there's a gap here. Even on S&P 500, there's a massive gap here. At some point, we'll fill those gaps. All right, so there's no point buying here. We should be looking to take profits. All right. So anyhow, let me do analysis here, and then I will go to any questions. All right. So SPY, there's no gap. There was a gap up here on this day, 9:30 a.m., 14th of December. Then gap down on this day, 15th of December, and you can see. Okay, so this gap is not filled. So that's why we do this analysis on a gap, because on Friday I did not do review it. So let's fill this. So top gaps I mark with yellow, bottom gaps I mark with green. All right, so this gap down, gap never filled. All right, triple Qs, gap up, gap never filled. Let's look at Dow Jones. There's no gap on Dow Jones. IWM, gap up, still not filled. So these gaps will be filled eventually. All right. Let's quickly look at Tesla. There's a gap here, still not filled. Let's make it a bit higher here. There you go, something like that, right? Yeah. Apple, there's a gap here. Netflix, no gaps. Microsoft, okay, so there's a gap here at the bottom, so it gapped up, looks like on Friday. So gonna mark this as green here. Let's mark this gap as green on Microsoft. So this gap will be filled, all right? Every time we have a gap down, comes up, fill this gap up. You can see gap up, fill this gap up. It's going to come back on Monday and fill this gap. Here you can see gap down, came back all the way next day, fill this gap. So it's very easy market to trade, all right? Google, you can see a gap down, fill this gap up, trying to fill this gap. See, market is easy to trade. So now it's in the middle of a couple of gaps, Google. Couple of gaps here, couple of gaps to the top, right in the middle. I don't know where it's gonna go. Meta, Facebook, let's see, Amazon. Okay, so Amazon also, Meta has no gaps. Amazon has a gap here, so let's try to fill this gap up. All right. Snowflakes has a gap here. Nvidia no gaps. AMD gap up. Uh, okay, and then let's quickly look at uh, what's his name? Biggest gold miners. Gold miner gap up, gap up. All right, this gap is also filled. All right, so I think I did most of the ones I want to do. CNQ, my stock which I'm holding. This is my profit. I bought here and I did not sell. I thought it's flagging and I thought it's going to get ready for a breakout, but they instead dumped it. Okay, there was a news on CNQ. They provided a growth plan, good plan, and then market dumped it. I don't know why. So anyhow, but on 1 hour chart, you can see what's happening. We're making higher highs, higher lows. This high is higher than this high, and now it's making a higher low. So we want to see another pump. So my profit targets on CNQ, this is the biggest Canadian oil miner. So from Friday's close, first target is around here, 6.3%, and second target is here, 8.79%. All right. So I'm holding until I get those. It can take a week, 2 weeks, I don't know when. The main reason is oil is bullish in my opinion. Oil is getting ready for a pump, and you can see I have a green signal on oil, buy signal, and I think it's getting ready for a pump. Let's add PPO here. Let's add PPO indicator and see how things are going. You can see PPO had a bullish crossover on oil. You can see green line is above red line. That's a very, very bullish indication. All right. So I'm assuming a massive pump on oil very, very soon. And you should be looking to buy oil miners. And that's the best sector right now. All right. Oil miners are the best sector right now to invest in. CNQ is one of them. All right. Um, Another one is SU, Suncor. This is another one. Okay, it also had a green buy signal here, all right. And then XOM, if you are a US, XOM is the biggest American oil miner. XOM, you can see also had a green buy signal, and also it has a bullish crossover, all right. So XOM is also looking bullish. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see this trend line. You can see it was going lower on a higher momentum, and what happened on Friday broke out and now back testing. Now this momentum indicator can be this breakout line. Can I can draw it a bit different because it's not the cleanest of the chart, but if I just draw something like this, uh, XOM, something like that, all right. If I go to auto fit, you can see broke out, back testing, all right. So yeah, everything these gaps. If I go to 1 hour chart, let's see if there are any gaps we missed, which could be our potential targets for XOM. So 1 hour chart, this gap was filled. No, so there's no gap until here, all right? So from here, where we are right now, my target on XOM from here is gonna be around 14% higher, all right? This is the one. If you want to buy leverage, OILU, all right, this is 3x leverage oil miners from here to this gap fill, 30% up, NRGU, same thing. From where it is right now to the gap fill is around 20% up. All right. So oil miners, you can go also buy XLE. You can go on XLE ETF holdings. Here's XLE. Okay. You can see gap here. XLE from here where it is right now to 6.7% away. Okay. Just remember there's another gap here. So they could bring it down to fill this gap. So just be mindful of that. All right. So this gap is also not filled, and it did gap down, looks like. So let's quickly, I forgot to mark individual sectors. So let's do XLE, XLK, XLV, healthcare, gap down. Healthcare, like, I don't know why UNH, biggest healthcare stock, is going down. We can review later on, but let's review these sectors. This is utilities sector, industrial is gap up, real estate sector is up, financial. You can see financial filled this gap, but had a gap down. You can see how nicely all these gaps are filled. KRE, regional bank ETF, gap up, nothing got filled. Shopify, nothing there. All right. Okay, so let's start with Bitcoin. Let's go to BTC. 1 hour chart, nothing here. Let's go to daily. All right. Let me take some questions. SPY double top is at 480 and looking like we are rejecting. Let's quickly look at SPY. Where did SPY go? Looking like we're rejecting by one. Our trailer will bring the market down. How about Bitcoin? Are we going 44K? CNQ. Okay. Um, SPY, there is a, yeah, it's like near the all-time high. SPY, we cannot really do SPY because there's a dividend. There was a dividend thing. So there was a dividend date here, so it's fell down. So you can maybe look at SPX, this one. All right. So SPX was flat. All right. And if you draw a box on S&P 500, something like this, right? You can see here, this is the whole resistance area, all right? This whole area. So it's just touching the resistance area, and yeah, this is like a resistance area, right? Unless it's, you can see short term, it's very, very overbought, light green um, background. There's no divergence, so that's a good news. But if I go to 1 hour chart, you can see 1 hour is making a little bit of divergence, but yeah, this is very, very overbought. I'm not looking to buy, okay? Sure, it can do double top, it can do whatever, but I only buy when I see red, okay? I buy on the red side. I don't buy on the green side, okay? I wait for red background, not green. Green is when I take profit. Wait for red backgrounds. Here, look, it's so easy, this indicator. Just wait for red background. Here, you can see bounce, then came down, and I know when it's come got lower, it's on divergence, higher low. So yeah, wait on red, don't buy on green. And why I buy on red? I buy red on crude oil. I buy, right? Crude oil was red, so I'm gonna buy crude oil miners, CNQ, XOM. Where's XOM? Here you go, XOM. See, see this red? XOM, this is why you buy. You don't buy, you buy stocks which are at the bottom. You don't buy stocks like S&P 500. You don't buy tech stocks. You don't buy triple Qs. You don't buy triple Qs here. You don't buy SPY. You don't need to buy Apple. Look and see. You can buy Microsoft, green. You can see, like, go what people pe- don't buy what people want to buy. Buy what people don't want to buy, right? Anyhow, this was just my rant. Uh, let's go to Bitcoin. Where's Bitcoin futures? Where did it go? I have to find. Here you go. All right. All right. So Bitcoin, there's a gap down here. All right. And you can see what's happening on Bitcoin. It's making a higher high, but lower momentum. You can see what's happening on RSI, lower momentum, which means RSI is making lower high. PPOs, nothing on PPO. So I'm going to delete this. One of the indicators is saying it's making lower momentum. You can see all the gaps, okay? 1 hour chart on SPY. You can see all these gaps. Massive gap on 39, 420, second gap on here, 34, third gap here, 29, so on and so forth, okay? So Bitcoin is making a topping process. Yes, it can go higher to fill this gap around 44. It was a gap down, so that's why there's a dotted gap here. But you can see only one gap up, and all these gaps are to the downside, all right? So be careful on Bitcoin. Uh, and also you can see background light green. Okay, so look to take profits and then wait for a pullback. Same thing on Ethereum. You can see massive divergence. Okay, let's zoom in a bit on Ethereum. You can see here Ethereum. You can see a little bit divergence on PPO, RSI massive. You can see new high, and you can see also have a red sell signal. Green line is below red line. Dump pressure. Bitcoin green line is below red line. Dump is coming. All right, just be careful here. Let's look at live futures on Bitcoin. Similar things. If I go to daily chart, you can see we are against massive resistance on Bitcoin here. Okay, massive resistance. If I zoom in, you can see also same thing here. This is live market on Bitcoin. Green line is below red line, and we have a red dot. All right, Ethereum. Same thing. Here you go. Ethereum is also here, divergence, all right, same thing, live market. So saying same story. Some supports are coming around 2000, then next stop support is around 1870, 1900. So they could find some support. VIX, new low, and you can see it's still on divergence, right? You can see still on divergence, new low, RSI is higher high, price is making lower low, and you can see higher momentum on RSI, PP also, green line is above red line. So this means VIX is bottoming out, and you can see this cycle very nicely. These cycles are like going on the bottom side, and right now it's going towards bottom. This is where it should be looking to bottom with higher momentum. So VIX is going to explode. If VIX goes higher, that means S&P 500, Nasdaq, Bitcoin, everything is going to go lower. All right. So this is a warning sign. All right. Big warning sign. If I go to weekly chart on VIX, you can see every time it goes on this level. If I draw a box here on VIX, you can see here, right? This big box. This whole thing here. You can make a green and you can make darker background green. All right, you can see VIX. This is where VIX bounces. You can see since 2014, 2013, you can take entire stock market history. This is where you want to be buying VIX. All right, this is where you want to be buying VIX. Look where it is right now. It's going to bounce every time it goes here. It bounces. Look, these are weekly chart. Anytime I take bounce, 107% here. Here, look, bounce from. It's like uh, uh, any school student can do a math here. Okay, this is a warning sign, guys. Warning sign for the stock market. VIX is ready to bounce. Be very careful here. You don't want to be buying near all-time high. You got to be taking profits. Sit on cash. Okay, put your money in savings account if you don't want to invest. Do not buy at these levels of the stocks. VIX is telling you a warning, giving a big warning, guys. Be very careful here. All right. I hope you listen to that. SPY. All right. So anyhow, so let's do analysis on SPY. So SPY is topping out. Okay. So I think it's going to eventually go lower. Just trying to top out here. You can see extremely overbought short term. Looking for a, I think this gap down was mainly for dividends. I'm just marking it here, but you can see the gaps here. This is the next support around 455. I think what's going to happen most likely, this is what I'm expecting on daily chart. So what I'm expecting is topping out here, right? Come down, find support, and then go higher again, March and April. This is what I think I'm looking for now. All right, and we'll talk about it later, whatever happens. But I think at minimum we're looking for this. Triple Q's, same thing, looking for a topping process to form very soon. So basically, a top here very soon, come back down, and then go higher. All right, something like this I'm expecting. Dow Jones, let's look at Dow Jones ETF. Same thing here, yeah, same story. Looking for similar stories everywhere. Looking top out, go down, and then go higher. All right, IWM, same things here. There's a gap on top on IWM, there's a gap at the bottom. So IWM is a little bit easier to, maybe it's going to top out very soon, come back down, and then go higher. All right, maybe it wants to fill this gap first. I don't know, we'll see. Um, all right, gold. Gold is doing exactly what I thought. Coming into the support area here. So, okay, so made a high, new high. This is a high, low. Looking to find support. Any dips look to buy, and then it's going to be bouncing. Silver, same thing here. Now, big against big resistance here, silver. All right. So if it falls down again on this area, this is where you want to be buying. All right. If it comes down to this area, buy on this trend line. All right. Crude oil is my favorite sector. I'm buying oil miners right now. All I'm looking to buy is oil miner because I know there's a massive pump coming on oil. So this is my favorite sector, and yeah, and I'm that's what I'm buying CNQ. A couple of gaps here, which I told you are my targets. Natural gas. Looking for a rejection here. Now there's a gap here. This gap is still not filled. So natural gas gonna go a little higher, fill this gap, then looking for new low. And I want to see some divergence. I want to see a new low and then divergence on RSI, like what happened here, new low. But you can see RSI was going higher high on PPO. That's what I want to see. And then eventually it's gonna bounce. All right. Dollar came near support area. This whole area is support. All right. So dollar is near support. So that's the other warning sign, right? Dollar proved support, and now it's in the resistance area. If dollar breaks out from here, that's going to be bearish for stock market and uh, and gold and Bitcoin. All right. So dollar looks like it's on support. So if dollar bounces, you got to be careful. What else is here? Toronto Stock Exchange. Oh, wow. This looks like this gap is filled. You can see how nicely gaps are filled, all right? So this is the beauty of gap analysis. Okay. So did it top out? I don't think so. I think it's going to go another, there's another attempt coming to new highs and then top out and then come down, fill this gap and then go higher, something like this. I think that will be ideal, but I don't know. Let's see. Hang Seng Index, China, nicely 1 hour chart. You can see breakout, okay? You can see trend was going down, China, and price was going lower. PPO was going higher, RSI was going higher, broke out, back test one, back test two, back test three, boom, all right? So China is looking bullish. Now, actually, I'm going to delete this. Support is not required. So it's buy the dip, all right? Buy the dip, China. Now, remember there's a gap here, but again, looks like getting ready to bounce. Bond market, a little bit of, you can see nicely came to support area here. Same thing, this trend line bond broke out. You can see very nicely zoom in, broke out, back test, now boom, all right. Look to buy the dip on bond, copper. Again, look to buy the dip. I don't know if dips will happen, but if they do happen, look to buy it. CPER is the ETF. Palladium, wow. You can see nice bounce, this support area. Now this resistance became support. So we're going to make this green, make this background green. So now it's again against this next resistance. So nicely, this downtrend line, Palladium, backtest this, was making new lows on higher momentum on RSI and PPO. And look at this breakout. Massive bounce. This was a buy signal, guys. This breakout of this trend line. Palladium is going higher now against this massive next resistance. All right. So this is the other thing on Palladium. So now against heavy resistance. PALL is the ETF. If you're interested, soybeans in the buy zone. So I'm looking to buy soybeans also and corn. I'll show you corn, but this is where you want to buy commodities. Okay, soybeans is in a massive, nice buy range here. Okay, you can see support, support, support. SOYB is the ETF. Wheat also looking like double bottom here. Buy the dip. You can see it broke out, came back in the buy zone. Now bouncing, so wheat is also looking good. Corn, this is the other thing, okay? You can see corn made a new low. Same thing like which I showed you on Palladium, new low with higher momentum, broke out. Now it could backtest, it could go maybe a little bit more lower if required, but this is where it's a bottom forming pattern, all right? This is where you want to buy corn. CORN is the ETF, all right? Just forming bottom and then it's going to bounce. Near resistance, once it clears it, it's going to be massive bounce. Sugar. Okay, sugar is the other one. I want a little bit more downside on sugar. This massive support area around here. Just touched it a couple of days ago here on Thursday, looking for new low. And you can see it was going higher on lower momentum on RSI and PPO, so it dumped. And now I want to see some divergences, okay? I want to see a new low on sugar, and that's where I'll be looking to buy. I think it's just trying to form a base. Gain is the ETF if you want to trade sugar, all right? And Tesla, uh, you can see broke out of this trend line, downwards trend line, this triangle, uh, gap up, okay? But just remember on Tesla, there's a gap here. Gaps do get filled, 239, another gap here around 224. So gaps will get filled. I don't know when, but whenever they do, just remember from here, uh, 11% down, other one is 6% down, all right? So just be mindful of that, all right? So Tesla is for now, as long as it's above this trend line, everything is good. Now there is a gap here as well, 291. So one gap here, one, two, three, four gaps down. So do your math. Are you gonna wait for, you think Tesla will go higher, 14% to fill this gap first, or it's gonna come down first from here, fill these couple of gaps, and then go higher? I don't know. We'll see. Apple near resistance, all-time highs, all right? Why would you be wanting to buy Apple here? Nobody wants to buy Apple here. You should not be. New high on divergence on RSI going lower, PPO going lower, all right? So wait for a pullback, all right? Netflix, again, massive resistance area. You should not be looking to buy here. You can see this trend line, back tested this trend line and now going lower, okay? Microsoft also gaps. There's a gap still not filled. Couple of gaps. I'm not looking to buy stocks at all-time high. Google just in the middle of nowhere. Couple of gaps up, couple of gaps down. I don't know which gap will fill, but look to buy on a fill of either look to short on gap fills or look to buy on bottom green gap fills. Meta, Facebook, you can see near all-time highs. I'm not looking to buy here. Same thing here. You can see on RSI, lower momentum, daily chart on Meta. PPO, massive divergence, new highs with lower momentum. Looks like you want to go fill these gaps. Amazon also same thing, new high on lower momentum. You can see all big stocks have lower momentum on RSI, lower momentum on PPO. Why would you be wanting to buy these stocks? This is absolutely not required to buy here. Snowflakes, couple of gaps to the down, so many gaps near very overbought. Same story on all tech stocks. Okay, Nvidia now, couple of gaps to the down, no gaps to the upside. AMD, massive bull run. You can see short term very overbought. I'm not interested in any tech stocks to be honest to buy here. Gold miners, Newmont Mine looking for these gap fills, 40 coming soon. GDX, $30 looking for that gap fill. It can also come down all the way down, so be careful. XLK, energy sector, no, XLK tech sector, again, topping process, okay? You can see starting to develop a little bit of divergence here. You can see RSI, divergence here, PPO, same thing here. On XLK tech sector, looking for a dump. Energy sector, my favorite sector. Now there's a gap here, so I don't know. Like I'm confused. Is it gonna come back, fill this gap, then go higher? Or it's gonna keep going higher? I don't know, but I'm just gonna wait. I'm just holding these sector, buying on all the dips. Look to buy. Okay, the targets are here to $90. XLV. Healthcare sector, I'm not sure what happened, but look and you can see it was overbought, so maybe just cooling down a bit. Utility sector also, you can see it was very overbought, cooling down. Industrial sector, again, you can see massive overbought levels here. Not interested. New all-time high. There's no divergence on RSI. Real estate sector, couple of gaps, looking for those to fill, but you can see background massive overbought levels here. Financial sectors also massive overbought. Not interested in buying any of these KRE regional bank ETFs, very overbought. Shopify, gap up, couple of gaps that are down coming. We'll see how that goes. And one of my favorite stock, Pfizer's. Pfizer is another one, all right? This is the one. You can see low and going low. No divergence yet. You can see red, okay? I like red. I like red. I like to buy when it's red. And you can see very oversold. But there's no little bit of divergence actually. There is divergence. New low, and you can see RSI is making higher low, all right? PPO is also doing the same thing. You can see here divergence, all right? So if you want to be careful, you can wait for a breakout of this trend line. But if you are a risk taker, if I go to weekly or if I go to monthly on Pfizer, you can see where we are right now, okay? This was 98, January 98, okay? So we are getting the price of what we got if you bought Pfizer on January 1st, 1998, all right? You're getting the same price right now. It's a steal, right? Looking for a bounce here just because there are some divergence. So if you want to be careful, wait for a breakout of this trend line. You can see all these yellow lines are the gaps to fill to the top side. From here, can be first gap 7%, other one is 13%, third one is 25, 32%. All right. So it's just forming a base. One of my favorite stock, UNH. I don't know why it went down. There was no real news, but it made a new low. So looking for any bouncers to fail. So yeah, so looks like any bouncers here can come down. All right, until this lower low, new low is rejected, unless it makes a new high. This looks bad. Healthcare looks a bit bad, in my opinion. Yeah, these are some of the stocks. XOM also my favorite stock. You can see breaking out, just slightly breaking out. So on Monday it will confirm, and then we're gonna go hit this target. So from here, looking for these targets to fill. All right. Okay. That's it for now. I'm gonna see if you guys have any questions, and then I will wrap up. Okay. How about Bitcoin? Are we at 44K top? Bitcoin, I told you, I don't know where the top is, but the chart is telling me we are ready, due for a cool down. Uh, Massive divergences, right? So I think we're gonna go a cool down. Um, so yeah, I won't be buying here. If I zoom out, massive resistance here where we are right now. Like I said before, massive resistance area. So with divergence, I'm not interested. I'm waiting for a pullback. Maybe after a pullback, if you get a better pullback all the way here around 30K, that's going to be good area to buy again. That's still going to be higher low, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But there's going to be a pullback and then another attempt, okay, in this massive resistance area. But looks like a topping process right now. How about short? Would you short it? I'm not looking to short this market. I'm just looking to waiting for a pullback and then buy on pullbacks, okay? But short term, if you want to short, I have this. I just do a day trading on short, but I don't recommend if you don't have if you don't know what you're doing because it could be very risky. But it worked out really good um, um, on Friday. All right, you can see this indicator. Uh, very nicely it came to sell zone, so very nice shot, very easy indicator for me. Whenever it's above red I just short, and then you can see here 0.4% dump. Now it's in the neutral line. I don't want to do anything here in the neutral line. Nasdaq 100, same thing here. We short from red signal, and you can see short here, easy short, 0.8% dump here. Even same thing for Bitcoin. You can see came to the buy zone, it was in the sell zone here. Easy short. Okay, this tells me easily where it went to short. So you can see from red line to green line, 4% dump. Right now it's in the middle. I do nothing in the middle, so I can basically make money every day. Like it's easy. Ethereum also right now in the middle. I'm not doing anything. Crude oil. So you can see crude oil. I was telling everybody, you can see it came and touched this buy zone to the dot on Friday, 10:23 p.m. AM, sorry, and then from here bounced. Okay, bounced 2%. Nasdaq 100. I think it did similar things here. You can see this day, Thursday, just touched it, just touched the green line and bounced. Unbelievable, right? Just to the dot, bounced from here, right? And it's now going closer to sell zone. All right, if I zoom out you can see here nicely, you can see from here to red line 1.55% easy profit. So if you don't have something like this, do not short, be careful shorting. But I have this, I share this with my subscribers every day, pre-market where the levels are, so you can use this to short. And I share videos, pre-market videos. During market I send screenshots to the group. I have a special members only group. I send like every couple of hours a screenshot of this level on S&P 500 Nasdaq, so they know exactly what they should be doing. If the price is near red line, they know they need to sell or take profits, and if it's near green line, they know they need to buy. All right, so you get this data every hour in my group in Discord. All right, are you sure? um, Expecting all-time high breakout? No, I all SPY is already near all-time high, so sure it can break out whatever, right? But I don't want to be buying here, so sure it can do what from here. What's left now on S&P 500 where it is right now? These are futures to the top, 2%, right? Just for 2. And you can see these levels are very overbought. I'm not going to risk profits for 2%, right? I'm not interested. You can see SPY 1 hour chart futures new high, and you can see RSI is still making lower highs. All right, so you got to be careful here. Not interested in SPY here. ARKK, ARKK, haven't done that for a while. Here you go, ARKK. Uh, let's go to 1 hour chart and see what's going on. So there's a gap up. So this is green now. So it's going to come down, fill this gap, 50 bucks. Another gap here. Multiple gaps on this stupid ETF. Let's go mark this one. The other one is here. Okay, all right. So, and okay. So it made a new high, and you can see again very overbought short term. So waiting for a cool down, although it's significantly down from where it was before. So, but it's approaching some resistance here, right? You can see it's easy to mark. You can see approaching this massive resistance area here. Let's mark it with red. whole area. Okay, see it was support here, broke down, resistance here, now again on resistance. So you're at resistance. So what you do at resistance, you short or you sell at resistance. You don't buy at resistance. You buy at support. You buy here. You gotta be buying here. Like this is the support area, right? You buy on support, sell on resistance, and it's on resistance. It is resistance until it breaks out, until this thing whole area breaks out around 52 bucks, 53 bucks, until it breaks out. Then there are all these gaps to the top. You can see here, there's still a lot of gaps here. I do need to go to 1 hour chart to mark these, but these are all gaps to the top, all right? So you should know that these gaps could get filled at some point, but for now, short term, it's non-resistance. So wait for a pullback to buy again. All right, it's making a higher high, new high, that's good. Wait for a pullback, and then you can buy on a pullback. Don't buy on the resistance area, all right? Why would you stop drawing fib retracement? Nothing, just like that. On fib retracement, I can draw it, but um, just like that, I can draw it anytime. But for now, uh, it's easy. Like on SPY, you can draw a fib. Where did fib go? Here you go. Fib retracement from here to the top. Here you go. So on SPY, if we go down, ideal area to buy will be here, right? This whole area here. This area here. That's gonna be a nice SPY zone here. But freaking thing just keeps going higher, right? So I can delete this fib for now. This is my ideal zone, this whole gap area. But for now, I'm gonna delete it. But it's just going on a parabolic move right now. If I can draw a fib retracement from here to here, this is where I'm looking to buy. You can see here, this whole area. This is where I already have it before fib retracement, right? And I can kind of predict. So now with gaps, I don't need to do fib because I know these gaps are going to be filled. So that's kind of lined up with fibs most of the time. So looking at the gaps is also another way of analyzing market. That's what I'm trying to do, which is more accurate, I think. What indicator RSI? It's just an RSI indicator. Which app allows to short BTC? Apps allows to short. I don't know any apps. Depends on your exchange, but for ETF, there is this ETF called BT, BITI, right? If you're in US, you can short Bitcoin using this ETF. This is inverse ETF. So if Bitcoin goes lower, this goes higher. Bitcoin goes higher, this goes lower. So this is for US, and then for Canadian also you have same thing, BITI. So if Bitcoin goes higher, this goes lower. Bitcoin goes lower, this goes higher. So you can see what's happening on this one. Price is going lower, and now RSI is going higher. All right, you can see here, same thing, like higher momentum on RSI, right? So it's inverse of Bitcoin. So you can see this is what you can look to short Bitcoin if you want. So this is the ETF, which is pretty interesting. Okay, guys. All right, let's quickly look at zones before we wrap up for Monday. I'm gonna get rid of this purple line so it's easier for you guys. Or maybe I'll leave it there for now. Okay, so S&P 500 is on the in the middle. ES, which is E-mini futures, you can see in the middle. Sell zones right now 47.95 and up, and buy zones 47.44 and up, down. Nasdaq 100 and Q. Um, Also near middle, sell zones are around 16,906 and up, buy zone is around 16,709 and below. Dow Jones also in the middle, Russell 2000 also in the middle. Oil between neutral zone and sell zone. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this indicator. It's kind of confusing a little bit. Here you go. All right, it's clear now. All right, and then C and Q is just coming closer to buy zone again. So look to buy around 62 bucks. If you missed it, this is a golden opportunity. Gold is near buy zone. All right, very good time to buy gold here. Silver is in the neutral zone. Natural gas near sell zone. Bitcoin coming go to now near sell zone. So if you're day trading like now, you can start shorting Bitcoin above 42,642, all right? Six to, and that's 48. It's going to approach this area very, very soon. So from where we are right now, 0.2% up and higher, time to short Bitcoin. Ethereum has a little bit more to go. So let it reach these levels around 0.55%, 2268 and up, look to short Ethereum. So free advice for you if you're watching this right now. Hang Seng Index in the neutral line, copper, neutral, soybeans in this neutral, palladium must be in the sell zone. Yeah, wheat near sell zone, corn in the neutral zone, sugar can come down 21 bucks and below, look to buy. Stock wise, I don't see any buy zones. I think Pfizer might be the one. Let's quickly look at Pfizer. But Pfizer also bounced on, oh, it's still in the buy zone. You can see Pfizer is still in the buy zone. And UNH came to the buy zone. You can see came here and still near buy zone. So healthcare stocks are looking good if you are interested. And then CPRL, not too far away. ATD is in the buy zone. ATD, WCN, I don't know. Okay, it's higher. XOM bounced, was in the neutral zone right now. Enbridge also near neutral zone. Okay, guys, that's it for today, and I wish you guys a great weekend. And if you have any comments, you can post at the end of this video. If you want me to review any particular stocks, just mention it, and I will try to take a look in my next video update. All right. Then, thank you, and have a good rest of the weekend, and have a lovely day. Bye.